Welcome to the Pretty Confident Podcast, where we embrace authenticity, own our worth, and build unshakable confidence. I'm your host, Sierra Renee, so let's dive in. What's up, you guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Pretty Confident Podcast. Whether you're listening to the audio or watching on YouTube, thank you so much for being here. To my OGs and returning listeners, thank you so much for returning back for more. If you are new here, thank you so much for giving me your undivided attention, if it's undivided, or just giving me your time to understand what I do and what I talk about on this platform. If this is your first time seeing me, I am definitely in a bonnet yet again. I am trying to batch create as much as I can for you all because I should be moved into my new place by the time this episode drops. But I will not have a dedicated podcast area by the time I get everything moved. And so I want to make sure I have enough content for you all that I'm able to still post in the midst of me going through all this craziness. Because if you know anything about moving, it is not easy and it is not simple. Now, it may be a little bit more simple for me just because I know everybody's going to yell that I need to sit down and get out of the way and don't move this and don't pick up that and don't walk up and down the stairs. I already know it's coming because, yeah, I just know it is. I'm pregnant. I can't walk up and down as much as the other people can. And just walking up and down 3 flights of steps is already tiring enough. Like I was just getting comfortable doing it. Um, when I was going to the gym and getting right and doing all my cardio, running up the stairs, like I was just getting okay with it. And then pregnancy started. And I'm just like, oh, the stairs are the death of me. And it's not, I'm not even that far. Well, I am out of my first trimester by the time this drops. So I am that far along, but I'm not at the point where it's like, oh, we girl. But my ankles have been swelling. My feet start hurting. Like, it is real. My knees, like, it is real. So these 3 steps aren't easy for me. It feels like 6 because it takes me so long to get up the steps. I'm so damn tired. But anyway, I will have so much going on that I will not have my own dedicated podcast space. So I'm trying to batch create ahead of time so that I can at least have the content to edit, post, schedule, whatever, and out there while I try to get that area set up. I bought new furniture. We're getting obviously a washer, dryer, and refrigerator. Like there's so much stuff to buy that I don't know if I will have a dedicated space as soon as we get in there and if it'll be like if I'll be settled. But I'm going to record somewhere in that house. Okay. I'm going to record somewhere in that house because it is mine and I can go in all of the rooms. Y'all, we got a 5 bedroom, 3 bath house at a decent price to me based off what I've seen on the market. Any house that I see at $500 is, I mean, not $500. Any house that I see with 5 bedrooms at least is ticking upwards of $600,000. We got one lower than that, okay? And in a price range that I can deal with and am satisfied with based off what I'm already paying on rent. Because, rent prices are crazy. And I'm not even spending $1,000 more on mortgage for 3 more bedrooms and 2 more baths. Right? So, and a backyard. Like, come on. And it's all mine. 2-story. Don't have to walk up steps. 2-car garage. All of this. All of the things. Right? So, I will say buying a house was one of the scariest options, or not options, but one of the scariest things that I feel like in a young adult could do. Like I was so scared for my personal self just because I was like, I've never gone through this before. And there's so many different information and different types of information out there on the web, regardless of if you're on YouTube, Instagram, or Spotify. So it's just like, whew, Spotify. What am I talking about? I'm on Spotify on my podcast, but what I'm talking about is Spotify, not Spotify, you guys. See, I am tired. I'm mentally tired, and my brain is shutting down, and it's like Spotify. So you must be talking about the podcast. I'm not talking about the podcast. I'm talking about housing information. YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. All of this information out here from so many different people. You have people in different states, people in different counties, people in different, all of these like deal with different loans. Like there's several different loans, different rules for different people. Like it's just so much that you can feel overwhelmed. And with me, When I start to feel overwhelmed about anything, I take a step back because I'm like, that means that it's information overload and I need a minute. And so when I need a minute, I try to, take a second and then revisit. And then it just always still seems like information overload. So I will just say right off the bat, get you a good ass realtor. I know I'm cursing, but get you a good ass realtor, okay? Because that is going to make or break your situation, the method of how things are done, and overall just your experience with the home buying process. I can say that I have not been stressed. Well, I probably got stressed out one time, but as soon as I brought it to my realtor, she nipped it in the bud for me, and less than a week later, we got everything, all of our ducks in a row, even more than what the people were offering, the lender was offering. So it's just good to have good people. I think that individual came into my life at the perfect time, because when I initially had my first chat with her, we were like, hey, we're looking for the next year or so. And then the baby, we found out we were having babies, like, hey, it needs to be sooner than that. So, and she just helped us from start point A to all the way to point B. So hopefully by the time this episode airs, like, we are completely moved in. We're just trying to get our footing in the new house, all of the things, okay? But how are you guys doing? How has your week been? How has your November been so far? No, it hasn't been too many days in the month just yet since this episode is about to be posted, but I still want to see how your November is going. First few days of the month, how is it setting your tone for the rest of the month? Do you feel good? Do you feel motivated? Do you feel strong? Or do you feel like a little Debbie Downer a little bit? Okay, what's going on? What happened in the first few days where you feel like you are already defeated and it hasn't even been, we haven't even reached day 7 of the month yet? What is going on, sister, brother? Let's put it in the chat so I can discuss with y'all and hopefully help you guys turn this thing around, okay? But let's think positivity. Now, as I'm saying, let's think positivity, y'all. I got some pet peeves that I want to talk about that I have been seeing on social media lately. Oh my goodness. All these weddings, and I think because I'm on the wedding and pregnancy side of TikTok, that's all I'm seeing, gender reveals and all of this stuff. But at the end of the day, you guys, when it comes to having a maid of honor, deeming somebody the title of being your maid of honor, they need to be willing to step up to the plate. If they do not step to the plate, fire their ass. Again, I'm cursing. Fire that ass. Because I am so sick and tired of seeing these weddings where the maid of honor is just there. They're not taking any extra initiative to make sure the bride's dress is, laid out how it needs to be, and all like the train is all out there like it needs to be, and like they're not taking the extra step. They are just standing there as if they are a regular bridesmaid. Your title is maid of honor. Get up there, help the bride with her dress, lay it out so that way when she has her pictures, it's not all bundled and jumbled up in her ass. Like, y'all, I'm just so tired of seeing it. And I went to one wedding and I'm just like, is her maid of honor going to get her dress and fix it? No? Okay. And literally, the photographer, a grown ass man, the photographer fixed the bride's dress. And not only at the wedding that I was at, but on some of these social media videos that I'm seeing as well, where the maid of honor is not doing their job, and the photographer, the videographer is the one fixing the person's dress. That is not their job. They are there to take, capture the moments in real time, pictures, videos. You as the maid of honor, your job is to fix the bride's dress. We need to start holding these people accountable and telling them what we expect of them and what we need of them if it is not already clear, because we can't always say, oh, well, you should know that. That's what I expect from you, if they did not clearly understand your expectations, right? So just me knowing, if I was a maid of honor, I'm going to make sure your pictures are top tier. So if that means going to grab your dress while, like, during the ceremony, while people are talking, while the, ordained person is talking and pronouncing y'all, I'm going to grab that damn dress and I'm going to fix it. That way your photos and your videos are bomb. I do not want your dress to come out all bunched up in the pictures and you're like, oh snap, like I really wish. No, I'm not gonna be on your right, on the whatever side that is, your left, your right. sitting there as the maid of honor, and I did not do my job to make sure your pictures come out fire. Because when your dress is laid out and it has all that detail or lack of detail, but it got a intricate train, you paid for it, they gonna see it, and you gonna see it and remember it in your photos and your videos. So that's just one thing that has been driving me nuts. And then the other thing, okay, gender reveals. Because I am on the side of TikTok with gender reveals, I don't know what I expect as far as, people's reactions. Because for me, I don't know if I want a boy or a girl. I know like, first, let me say, I know I want both of them, one boy, one girl. If we end up with two boys, we'll try for a girl. If we end up with two girls, we'll try for a boy. If that third one is the same sex, we just ain't getting the opposite one because I ain't getting pregnant again. Like, two is my comfortable. Three, it's like, ooh, okay, we really pushing it because we could do two kids and one parent with each kid. Okay, but that third child, okay, one of us got to have two kids, or one of us gonna have all three if the other one's gone, right? So who we y'all? We gonna figure it out. But it ticks me off when I see gender reveals and the family, like, once the gender is revealed, everybody is upset, tearing stuff up. Like, I saw one gender reveal and they were so upset that it was a boy. They were so upset that it was a boy. I think because they already had a boy, they were so upset that it was another boy. They were not happy. I think, I don't know who the family member was, but one of the family members was like kicking and throwing stuff. One of the kids was ripping and popping the balloons, like the decorations. That is so inappropriate to me. And then you posted it on social media. Like, I really don't understand the ideology behind some of these things that people do. Like, okay, you're getting clickbait, you're getting what you want, you're getting attention, but it's negative attention because this reaction is not warranted. Like, I feel like even if I have, two boys back to back or two girls back to back, I'm going to be happy that the baby is healthy regardless. I'm going to be happy that I get a child at all, because you could go through all of this and not have a child whatsoever, right? And so I just feel like if you're going to record it and feel comfortable posting it, be comfortable showing that child when they get of age or to a certain age the same video, because you are going to feel a surmount, like a crazy amount. Sorry, I thought I saw something, but you're going to see a crazy, like, they're going to see a crazy reaction to their birth, like their announcement that they were going to be here and that they were going to be the gender that they are. And some kids, if you show them that too early, they'll be like, oh my gosh, like, you hate me, you wish that I was a different gender, you wish that I was girl. Like, I don't know, to me it's just disrespectful, it's heartless, it's just terrible. Like, to me, those are terrible human beings. Like, I don't know, I just don't get, if you don't, I mean, you get blessed with what you get blessed with, but it's not always what you want. So you had two boys, and the second one, because you already had the first one, you're upset about it. Like, I don't know. And then these other gender reveals where, the guy runs off or is upset and nobody's hugging the baby mama, or the person expecting the baby, and everybody running up to the guy, and, nobody cares for. I'm just like, what? Is the man carrying the baby? Like, what are we doing here? I don't know. But those are just some of my pet peeves. That I've been seeing just floating around, and I'm just like, dude, y'all gotta stop this. Y'all gotta find something else to do, like, or if anything, just stop posting the damn videos, because I wouldn't know that this shit is happening if y'all don't post it. Jesus Christ, get it together. My body just flying all over the place. It irks me. It just hits a nerve in my head that is just like, ugh. Okay, either you're not happy about the gender and you don't want that gender. So, like, now it's like, what, how do you treat that kid when they do get here? Oh, I wanted a girl, I got another boy. Like, how do you treat that boy? Like, I'm not saying that everybody treats their children terribly if it's not the gender that they wanted, but one can only think you didn't want him. So you wanted a girl, you were expecting a girl. So what, how are you treating the child now that they're not the gender that you want, right? So that's just my little 2 cents. Those are the things that I've been having a pet peeve about. Maid of honors, do your damn job. Brides, choose your maid of honor wisely. Parents, whenever y'all are having these damn kids, make sure you actually want the kid. And just know it is a 50-50 chance. And regardless of what you get, you are blessed because there are people out here that cannot get pregnant whatsoever and wishing, just wishing and hoping that they could have either girl or boy. And you are being, you're just, I don't know, you're being ungrateful for the opportunity of getting pregnant and for the opportunity of having a child and making it, through your pregnancy with a living, breathing, healthy baby at the end. That's what I wanted to say. That's my message, okay? That's my message for today. Episode done. Now, what I wanted to talk about in today's episode was just telling your story. I feel like that more times than not, whenever I'm listening to either a podcast or I'm watching like a quick snippet of a podcast on TikTok or Instagram, sometimes, I'm not saying it's all of the time, but some of the times people only want to hear your story if you made it out of the trenches. If you made it out of the mud, if you didn't have anything and you came from nothing, people really only want to hear your story then. Excuse me, I do not know what is going on. Um, but people only want to hear your story then. And to me, I'm just like, tell your story whether it's good or bad. You don't have to make up that you came from the churches if you was born at at a better take on life. Like, I really truly do feel like whether it's good or bad, tell your story. I feel like people only want to hear or only want you to open your mouth about your story and how you got to the level of success or hierarchy that you got to if you came from literally nothing, if you came from the trenches. And so to me, I feel like people try to discredit those that come from a better point at a better starting point in life that others do not have the opportunity of starting at. And to me, it's just like, don't discredit, the work that they did to get here just because they started off at a better playing position than what someone else did. That isn't their fault. That isn't, and if their parents or if whoever raised them did things correctly, that is where you want to start your kid off, right? Like somewhere that they could take it and go and don't have to make it out of the trenches, right? Like, yes, that, drives determination. Like, I'm not saying that somebody that has a great story doesn't have determination or comes from something, a little bit better than most, has worse off determination or bad work ethic. It really just depends on the person because some people from the trenches can get to a certain level point and get cocky and get, too comfortable. And then they're making decisions and saying certain things that gets them knocked back down and they can't get back up. Yeah, you had that dedication, but when you got cocky and comfortable, you lost that. You lost that work ethic. And now you have to regain it because now you're back at the bottom or now you're at the bottom of another barrel that you did not expect yourself to be at. And so all I want to say is that not everybody's story starts off with the bare minimum. Um, people can come from highly favored positions in life. And like I said, most of the time, if you have a silver spoon in your mouth, people like to say. Some people won't want to, fuck with you or listen to what you got to say. But at the end of the day, if you have been tested, if you have been through trials, you have a testimony and a testament to share outward to other people. Just because you come from a highly favored position in life or came from, a different playing ground does not mean that you are less qualified or less than to give other people advice. Shoot, you could be giving people advice that made it from the trenches on how to make it out of the trenches and then how to prolong or benefit themselves to make sure their offspring aren't starting and trying to make it off from the trenches. I just feel like when you make it from the trenches, your priority, your goal in life is to make sure you make it out, keep it there, continue to move forward and stay consistent and stay steady and make sure your offspring don't have to learn how to make it from the trenches because once they have to learn from the trench, like make it from the trench, everything is just, it's no generational curse, like it's no breaking of a generational curse. But at the end of the day, don't disqualify or don't discredit those that don't have to make it out of the trenches because their parents put them or whoever their guardians put them in a better position to make it out there. Like, and sometimes when you know better, you do better. Sometimes people just look at it. Y'all remember that one episode I said you have to choose your hard? Some people look at it as too hard to make it out of the trenches, so they stay where they are and they want to keep everybody around them where they are because misery loves company. But then it's also hard to stay where you are because you're constantly fighting for your bread day to day. You're constantly fighting to keep yourself afloat. So both are hard. Staying where you are is hard. Trying to reach a new level in life is hard, but you have to choose your heart. I already have an episode out there. But to me, if you are worried about, oh, well, okay, well, what's your backstory? What's your backstory like? Where did you come from? What was your childhood like? Do you have any trauma? Like, when you're fishing for that type of information, it comes off to me as they're looking for something to like give credit to this person in order for them to be qualified or seem qualified to talk about a particular subject or a particular situation, right? Like that's how it comes off to me. But I just want to tell you all out there, if you came from the trenches, I'm not saying that y'all can't tell y'all story. Y'all gonna make sure y'all tell y'all story. Oh, I made it from here. Y'all are the loudest ones to tell y'all story, but make sure y'all are not discarding or discrediting other people just because they didn't make it from the same place you were. Oh, you don't understand what it takes to da 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 da. Okay, I don't. What's the problem? I think it's better for me that I don't know what it takes to make it from there. Great and kudos to you, but just because that's not my story doesn't mean that I haven't gone through stuff my own way, my own, I haven't had a hard time myself, because what is hard to you and what you made it through is your testament, right? It's something that you could speak to, but there are stuff that other people at different levels go through as well that helps form who they are in their journey. All of our journeys are not going to look the same. So what was hard for you may not be hard for me. What was hard for me may not be hard for you. But because we have two different hards doesn't mean that one outweighs the other, right? So let's stop with the, oh, well, she was born with a silver spoon. Oh, she was spoiled all her life. Oh, she doesn't know what this is like. Yeah, I don't know what that is like, but you don't know what this is like. I may have my own hardships that I have gone through, but because you went through this, you didn't have to go through this, right? Like, we have different hards, we have different trials and tribulations that we have to go through and make it through in order to be and come out on the other side with a story to tell. So that's my story. That's the episode today. Okay. I'm tired of I'm tired of these maid of honors not doing their job. I'm tired of people, looking like they hate the damn child before the child even get here just because of his gender. And I'm tired of people trying to make it seem like you have to come from living under a fucking cardboard box on the side of the road for somebody to be able and willing to listen to you on how to grow and how to get to the position in life that you have gotten to. Oh, well, I can't get there. She started off here. I'm several levels behind that. I'm several. Okay. Find the person that you whose story you can attest to and who you can kind of feel like you can get a mentorship out of to get you to the next spot. But that at the end of the day, you should not just have one mentor. You should at one point have different mentors at different pieces and different spots in your life where this person is I don't want to say expert, but this person has made it out of this, phase of their life and made it here. I want to be like that in that, situation, in that spot in my life. Okay, this person has made it through these different hardships and situations in this circumstance. I want to know how they did it and see if I can apply any of that information to my life. But when y'all discredit people that do not have a hard upbringing, it comes off as discardment, as you cannot talk to them or they're not the person that you could talk to because they didn't come from this complete bottom. Everybody is different, and everybody is going to find their niche, and everybody is going to find the people that resonate with them. But because you don't resonate with somebody doesn't give you the right to try to discredit them, to try to tear them down, to try to be like, oh, well, your situation and what you went through, your hardship doesn't matter because it wasn't as bad as this. You sound dumb and stupid. But no, you guys, literally, like, I don't know. That is just like, I guess you could say, like, another pet peeve to me, because I've been seeing it a lot lately in all of these episodes. Oh, well, what type of relationship did you have with are your parents divorced? Did you come from a two-parent household? Are you this? Are you that? What was your life like upbringing? Was it hard? Did it, like, come on now, you fishing. If I want to tell you that stuff, I'll tell you. But in order for, like, that being the basis of our conversation before we go into anything deep, it's like you're trying to make me, give off what type of credentials I have to discuss, the hardships or how to make it through certain things. There's no credentials that one person could have. The only credentials that you need is that you were tried, you made it through, and now you have a story to tell. Why do I have to go through the worst of the worst in order to be somebody to listen to? It doesn't make sense. So, regardless of where you are in life, regardless of what you had to make it through, there is something in everybody's story that you could take, from you could take from their story and apply it to your own life. There are people that make millions of dollars, but I bet you there are others that have not touched that amount of money, have not seen that amount of money, but whatever advice they can hear from that person or get from that person, they are going to take it and try to apply it to their own life to see how it works for them. I'm not saying apply it and it's going to work, but I'm saying take something that resonates with you, especially if you haven't tried it before, and see if it works for you. You do not have to be going through the same exact thing in order for something that somebody else did for themselves to work for you too. There's no rule book to this thing called life. You just have to go through it and figure out what works. So, I hope that's reaching some ears. I hope that keeps, some people that do judge that way from judging. Like, just listen to the story the person has to tell. Somewhere in there, you're going to find something that probably helps you, that you probably would not have heard from somebody that came from a similar background or situation from you, because they may not have had those specific situations and circumstances happen to where they would have taken those steps. But because they did not have that circumstance, that situation, that hardship, they could not have developed that type of, you know, uh, information or lesson or whatever that they got from that scenario. So stop judging a book by its cover. Stop, judging a book by the contents page. Try to listen to people thoroughly to see if there is something that you can actually take from that person. Because most of the time, if you're like everybody in the same room as you, you're not going to get anywhere above that. All right. So I love you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I cannot wait to talk to you guys in the next episode next week. Remember, audio Tuesdays, 8 a.m. Central Standard Time, and visual on YouTube Wednesday, 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. All right. So if I don't see you there, I hope I beat you there, or I hope you beat me there. Okay. I need y'all on there, ready to listen to the audio every Tuesday at 8 a.m. And I need y'all sitting there waiting for the thing to drop, the YouTube video to drop on YouTube at 5 p.m. Okay. But I love you guys. I love talking to you guys. I hope you all have an amazing rest of the week, and I will see you in the next episode. Peace. Thank you for tuning in to the Pretty Confident Podcast. Remember, confidence isn't about perfection, it's about embracing who you truly are. So until next time, stay bold, stay authentic, and stay pretty confident. Peace out.